In this video, I'm going to share with you guys 5 things that you can implement in your life today to better prepare for a recession. Now, welcome to the channel. My name is Bashar Katu. I'm the founder of BJK University, an education company with a mission to impact 1 million lives. So today I have with me Lorraine, one of our coaches. We're going to be talking about the 5 things that you can take and implement in your life right now to better prepare for a recession, and share with you guys some experiences that we've had in the past and how you can be better prepared. So let's get down to business. All right, so Lorraine, good to have you here again. Today we're gonna be talking about the 5 things that people can do today to prepare for a recession. So I'm just gonna kind of run through them real quick. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take every single one of them and just really deep dive into and dissect it, and then get your thoughts on it, and then talk a little bit more about it. So the very first thing is being cost effective, or really spending wisely, and then looking at your budgets and how you're spending and what you're spending on. The second thing is educating yourself on potential alternatives. How can you and what can you do in times of crises, and how can you better prepare your family and loved ones? The third thing is avoid making emotional investments and avoid shiny object syndrome, I guess, what's more appropriate here. The fourth thing is avoid listening to naysayers, people that, that could influence your life and how you go about it, and kind of plant things in your brain that really shouldn't be there. And the last one is starting a side hustle. And I really want to talk a lot about that. So let's take the very first one. Being cost effective and spending wisely. I remember, for me personally, I'm a very frugal person. I don't spend money on clothes, expensive clothes. Our house is pretty It's very empty, pretty much. There's a couch, there's a TV, and really not much. And that's why it echoes in my office, because there's really not much in it. And I've always been very careful when it came to spending money. And I think it happened after I lost everything and was kind of forced into, creating good spending habits. But it's kind of, it stayed with me all those years, and it served me very well, right? So Lorraine, why do you think that being cost effective or spending wisely is a great strategy, especially in kind of unknown and turbulent times like these?
Okay, so right now I'm about 59 years old, looking for the big 6-0, boy. I'm happy about that. But during my life, I have gone through many different things. And I have learned that, we need to be aware of what could possibly happen. We need to be aware of what could the impact be, and how will it affect my family? How will it affect my budget? And I will start to get a list of what's important first. I want to see what is it. My mortgage has to come first. I need a roof over my head, and I need food in the fridge. Everything else I don't need. I do need my internet, because I need to be here with all of you. But that's 3 on the list. I need food and I need a house. But then again, I can work anywhere outside in a tent if I needed to with a hot spot. But what I'm really trying to get at is put things down on a list. Lists are great as long as you don't go overboard. Get a simple list, keep it simple, what's important to you. And now we learn how to budget for something that could possibly happen. And when we budget for something that could possibly happen, and if it doesn't happen, now we have extra money. And what we want to do is we want to find the best cost-effective way that will help us to ride something out. And what I've seen, and trust me, a lot of people will go on to Google, and they'll just start Googling and reading everything. And what you don't realize is you're reading bloggers with an opinion.
Yep.
You know what? And we all know what opinions are like.
Yep.
So basically, what I found to be easier is I don't want to get sick, I don't want to waste my gas, and I don't want a more expensive product. So I run to Amazon, I get it cheaper, I save my gas, and I stay healthy. I am good. These are solutions that you can do.
Absolutely. I remember a story that Mark Cuban, the famous billionaire who owns the Mavericks team, said that what he does every quarter, he takes his kids shopping on Amazon, And what they do is they buy all the essentials in bulk for the entire quarter. And he's like, it's a ritual that he's been doing ever since his kids like could ever remember when they became aware. And he said, although I'm a billionaire, I didn't want them thinking that we're just gonna be, he's like, it's not like we need it. He's like, but it was more of a teaching habit for them. And he's like, now it became a thing in our family. Like every quarter, we all gather around the computer and then we just go and like, you know, it's like, we'll buy toothpaste in bulk, we'll buy paper towel in bulk, we'll buy toilet paper. He's like, we'll just buy all the essentials and then we'll just store it. And then, you know, it became a habit. He's like, it's saving money. You know, again, not that he needs to save money, but it was more of a habit that he taught his kids. And I'm almost 100% sure that it's going to serve them very well in the future as well. So as you said, you know, purchasing cost effectively and purchasing wisely is, I think it's a habit that one should create regardless of what is happening, right? Especially in times of uncertainty, it'll come very, very handy, right? If things are going well, then that's a different story.
I went to Costco the other day. I got my bill, and everybody knows it's bulk, right? So we think we're saving money, and it is cheaper if you kind of deduct it from single things like at Walmart and stuff like that. Then I went home and I opened up Amazon and I took my list. And I started going through. I'm like, what am I doing? I could have saved $230.
Wow. And the trip and standing in line. Yep. And the gas, right?
And the gas and the standing in line and all of that good stuff that comes with it. And then getting a pizza that I didn't need. And now I got to exercise it off.
That's how they get you. All right. So the second thing is, I want to talk about is educating oneself about potential alternatives and just being like, I guess, not open-minded, but being receptive to new information and new stuff that's out there. So can you tell us a little bit more about what does it mean to always be educating oneself and why is that important? And how can that help someone to better prepare for a recession?
Absolutely. Okay. Now, the first time, and this was many years ago, I believe it was in the 80s. We did go through a big recession, late 70s, early 80s. We went through a big recession. And I wanted to know, hey, what do people do during this time? I just started looking it up. And I started getting some golden nuggets and I started to apply it. And I learned that I am saving money. I'm not as stressed. Some people tend to get overstressed. Oh my gosh, this, oh my gosh, that. And then they go run out and buy everything and they're broke. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't panic.
Like when they bought toilet paper when COVID hit?
Oh my goodness. Oh, Costco was out of toilet paper for the I was like, good thing about it is we're in Hawaii. We got some big, beautiful leaves here. But don't panic. Don't overlook a solution because you're worried with panic. Panicking can create more damage than anything. As we saw with the long lines, with the no toilet paper, and like now, no baby formula. Why? Why is that? All of a sudden, there's no baby formula. One factory had an issue, and now the world doesn't have baby formula. I'm like, really? Don't panic. Look for a solution and ask other people. Do your due diligence, search certain things. If you want to know something, don't sit there and ponder over it. Don't sit there and wait until it eats you up when now you don't know which direction. Go look it up. Go look up what other people are doing. Find a solution. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. That's great. Now, this is kind of one of my personal favorites. Avoid making emotional investments, but most importantly, avoid shiny object syndrome. What is your take on this?
Avoid shiny object. When people tend to panic, they want to find the best newest thing. But here's the thing, the best newest thing is a fad. And a lot of times these things fail. They'll put a lot of money into it just to get you to invest. What you need to look for is a solid platform. You need to look for something that's, is tried and true, something that works. These shiny object syndrome is like, ooh, look, squirrel. Eventually the squirrel's gone and you're standing there with the days look like, what was I looking at? Doing multiple things at once and trying to find that's not finding a solution. That's chaos. So if you have 5 different things that you're going, and you figure, with all these 5 things that are going on, I'm going to, make money here, here, and here. But where's your energy going?
Yep.
You have energy going here, 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 and here. And slowly they may start to grow, so they may start to fluctuate. Yep. But if you remove all of this and stick to one, all your energy goes here. Right. And that's when you do well.
Yep. Here's a little story. In 2016, I think it was, or something like that. Right after my restaurant burned down, I was in chaos, right? I had no money. I was in debt. And one of my friends came to me and said, hey man, this is when crypto was like becoming hot and it was kind of getting out there. He was like, hey man, there's this new platform. It's called, I forgot what it was called. And he said, if you put money in it, they pay you interest daily and you can pull out your interest. And I'm like, oh shoot, okay. I was driving for Uber. I think I had like $1,000. I took $1,000 and that was literally all the money I had in the bank. But I had a pile this big of debt that I still needed to clear. So I took that money and I put it in this company, and they were giving us interest every day. After about $200 or $300 that I had accumulated in interest, one day I logged in, that whole thing was down, nothing. And that company turned out to be a scam. They ran away with hundreds of millions of dollars of people's money, and I was out my $1,000 and the interest. And so the moral of the story is, I got shiny object. I was chaotic. And I wanted something it was an emotional decision because I needed to clear out my debt. Someone told me that, hey, this can work. And again, I was also there and I was trying to do this other thing and the other thing and that thing. And I was driving for Uber and I was doing this thing, and it just did not work. So what I learned, as you said, finding one thing that works, sticking to it, keep doing it, crush it, scale it. Then, and only then, if it makes sense to go into other things, then do that. Otherwise, don't, right?
Because you can afford to do it and maybe you want to give it a try. But the things like this with crypto and it's almost like gambling. Yep. You're gambling. Yep. It's a 50-50 shot. Are you actually putting any work in? No, I'm putting money in. So how do you know how it works? Yep. What are you doing? And the people know that there's desperate times, so they're going to do whatever they can to prey on your desperation. Yep. I've only got $1,000. It's the same as $1 million. Yep. That $1,000 was the same as if you had $1 million, because that's all you had at the time. Yep. And investing wisely, that's the best option. You need to do your due diligence, invest wisely, and become your own boss. Become the master of your destiny. Not let somebody else, take over. It's like somebody else running your business and you have no clue how it runs. And then you turn around and there's no business. And it's like, or everything's going haywire. Why? Because you don't know.
This is a funny one. Avoid listening to naysayers. Why is that important? And what is your experience with that? And can you kind of shed some light here? Absolutely.
There's a lot of negative Nancys out there. Okay. Sometimes it's just who they are. No matter what, they could be handed a gold bar and it would be like Eeyore. Oh, that's nice, but it's just not shiny enough. There's always something negative. This is what you don't want to surround yourself with, because negative starts to creep in. It's like this shadow that just kind of gives you an ugly hug. You don't want that around you. Yep. Get outside, get in that sun, take that sunshine in, breathe the fresh air and say, okay, I got this. I know what I want. I know what I'm doing. And when you do get approached by people that are negative and they have their own opinions, remember, everybody has an opinion. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. Yep. But if you know yourself and you keep true to yourself and your vision, then nothing can stop you. Even the negative Nancys. And you don't want, and even if it's in your family, you don't want to alienate them or anything like that. Just be pleasant and go away.
I just recently started reading this book. It's called As a Man Thinketh.
Yes.
And it's an incredible book, because what it says, and this is so true. It says that people who believe in sickness and think about being sick are those that actually get sick. And I saw that firsthand when COVID hit. I remember when COVID hit, I was terrified. And then I got to the point where I said, you know what, screw this. I made a decision mentally that I'm not going to get sick. And I used to get sick like twice a year, right? Ever since then until now, I have not gotten sick. Now, granted, 2 months ago, I got COVID. but I also had traveled and done a whole bunch of stuff. And it was like, it was inevitable that I would get it, right? But the way that I got through it was I was like, nope, I'm not sick. Nope, I'm gonna keep strong. It's like going out on walks, staying, laying by the pool, all that stuff. And I just rocked on through it. And what I came to understand, especially now reading this book, it's literally all here. That's all it is. It's all here. It's all in your thoughts. If you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. And the last thing we want to talk about here is starting a side hustle. Why is that important? And why is it important now more than ever?
Oh my gosh. There's so many people who are in a sheer panic, okay? If we take a step back, okay, so COVID happens. A lot of people are home. Now you have two choices. You can change your life. You can do something of value, starting your own business, or you can sit on the couch and watch TV. In the end, which one is going to give you value? Am I going to sit here, gain weight, eat ice cream and do nothing, and nothing that adds value to my brain, keeping it working, finding something that's really solid that I can dig my teeth into, and wow, this would be so exciting. I have time. I'm home. Now is the time to do it. People were given, through the adversity came something for thousands upon thousands of people.
Yep.
That actually looked at their life and said, I have the opportunity not to have to do what I was doing before because I'm home and I can do this. So why not? And they are. Yep. And it's awesome to see.
Yep. Absolutely. That's awesome. One thing that I realized is, and this is how I started, for me, Amazon did start as a side hustle because although I had lost my restaurant and pretty much had nothing going on, but I had a job, and because I had to pay my pissed off employees, and I had I was driving for Uber. And I still remember I would be driving for Uber. My laptop would be between the seat and the gear. And every time I had a chance, I would pull out my laptop, connect hotspot, and then just get on. And it was pretty much a side hustle until it became where, okay, if I invest more time, I can make more money. And that's when I dropped the job. And little by little, I dropped Uber. Uber, I loved it because I was meeting great people and it was on my own time, right? I could go in the morning, I could go at night, I could go whenever I wanted, right? And it started as a side hustle for me. And for me, it was Amazon. And I know for you, it was Amazon as well. Why do you think Amazon is one of the best side hustles in today's economy and today's world?
No matter what happens in the world, Amazon is always solid. Okay, for instance, with the recent things that were happening because of COVID and shipping, okay, shipping rates went up. Everybody was in a panic. Okay, and what does Jeff Bezos do? He thought well ahead. He thinks for things that possibly maybe could happen, and that's the best thing to do. What would I do if this? I'll sit down in a room and say, what would I do if this? What would I find a solution for? Oh, I guess you could do this. Let me write that down just in case. So I have a just in case book and I can go back and look at things. I'm not doing it to be negative. I'm doing it to see how it's like a game of how I can come up with the best solution.
I hear people talking about, well, is this a good time to start selling on Amazon and so on? And I'm like, people are never going to stop buying. People always need to buy, and over 53% of all online sales happen on Amazon. Well, those of you that are watching, if Amazon FBA is something that you guys are interested in and want to learn more, BJK University can help you. Below this video, there's a link that'll take you to a short presentation that'll explain to you exactly how BJKU can help you and what you can do to be part of it. Outside of that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Lorraine, as always, appreciate you. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Aloha.